Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Lucas Hunter here, and I am stoked that we are just 2.5 weeks away from the Dragon Ball Fighters release. But we have the upcoming beta on the 14th, 15th, 13th, whatever, for everybody that pre ordered it early on PSN or Xbox. And I just wanted to come here today and talk about something that's been on my mind a lot and what I think they will do with the future of Dragon Ball Fighters. And yes, that is the DLC pack that is coming. I don't know how soon they want to release it or they are going to release it, but it's been on my mind a lot. And with all the clues that we've been given and leaks that have apparently come out, I've come here in this video to try and put it all together, and I hope you guys enjoy. So where we start off with speculation is what the game has already released to us. And Bandai Namco has already released that 8 new playable characters for Dragon Ball Fighters will come with the Fighters Pass, for the extra $35 with alternate colors and yada yada. But the leak that we had first got was a guy apparently who worked for GameStop that went to the GameStop convention, and he ended up leaking that it will be a 27 character base roster. When the game first launches, it will have 27 playable characters, and that includes the 2 Super Saiyan Blue versions, Android 17, and it also stated that Toa would be also launch character. Now, this first part of the video, I don't want to just go ahead and start speculating, so I just want to give out the information that we already have, and towards the end of the video, I'll go ahead and give my opinion on if I think any of this is real, or the characters that they think that will be in the Season Pass is plausible. Starting off with, and it also stated the first leak that we got is that a Saiyan season pass for the game will include 2 DLC characters. So that's very important to me with the leak that comes afterwards. And this leak was, I think, in October. The next leak that we got was from this Reddit guy who claimed that he leaked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Enchantress being in Injustice 2. So you can say he's was somewhat reliable, but of course, as they always say, take it with a grain of salt. But he said that there will be 3 DLC characters he know for sure that will come, and he says Broly is for sure a hands down DLC character that will come, and also regular Vegeta and regular Goku. He states that these 3 are for sure locked, and that they were even finished just 3 months ago at the time that when he gave the information out. And if what this guy is saying is true, this is a pretty big deal, because that would mean that, alongside with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Bandai Namco, and you would have to throw Arc System Works in there as well, even if they just, are developers for the game or no better than Capcom, because Capcom kind of did the same thing with Venom, not Venom, but Black Panther and Sigma at first when they were the first DLC characters. So if this is true, this is a pretty big deal, and people should make a lot of noise, like you said, about it. That they're pulling out these bullshit stunts, just to get extra money with characters that they've already finished. The leaker also goes on to state that he's heard about Bardock and Raditz, but he's not sure if they will be base roster or DLC, but he says those are characters that they're more than likely working on. And he also goes on to state just last month in December that Android 21 is going to be a playable character, but he doesn't know if it's going to be her ultimate form, that's the base character, or she'll transform into her ultimate form. Now this, we need to remember this because it's going to be important later on in the video. The leaker also goes to state with this Android 21 that he knows will be on the base roster for the game is sticking by the base Goku and base Vegeta being DLC characters for sure, because he's saying that in Japan, the people who played Extreme Butoden, the 3DS game that was made by Bandai Namco and also developed by Arc System Works, well, the sprites and some of the animations, they were saying that these characters were so good in the game that they want them back. So for them to put these characters in the game was just to appease the domestic fan base, because you have to think, even though Dragon Ball is huge in the States, it is, a foreign to us. It is foreign to the US. And so they would have to, appease their fan base over there in Japan first before anything else. Really, honestly, Broly is kind of like a foreigner kind of thing that likes so much, because people in Japan really don't like Broly. Hell, they don't even like Tien Shihan, Tien, and for him, when he got released over here, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was kind of expected for a lot of people, but people in Japan really do not like Tien Shinhan for some strange reason. I really don't know the reason why. I'd have to dig in deeper to it, but that was kind of like to appease probably more the US fan base or just the all around roster of Dragon Ball characters in the game. So to dissect the first part of this video with the leaks that we've got, and before I get into my own personal opinion, I feel like Android 17, the same thing with what it said earlier, is that he's going to be like an EX version of Android 18. I feel like that's viable. I feel like that is highly possible, and that he'll probably be in his super outfit, to make him different. And for him to use Android 18 as an assist, that's highly likely too. But I feel like Android 17 will be a playable character in this game, and he won't take up a character spot. He'll be like an EX version for 18. Now for Android 21, I feel like I don't want to say it's obvious, because if she's not in the base roster or in the roster at all throughout DLC, because they're saying it might be like some Saiyan season pass, I feel like Android 21 has to be a lock in a lot of people's minds, because why would you go up to Akira Toriyama for an original design for a game and not put her in as a playable character? I mean, Dragon Ball was already lacking in girl fighters. They only have Android 18, and for Arc System Works, girl characters are a big aspect to them, because they're usually not even half and half, but they're usually like 1/3 the characters are girls, at least. So Android 21, at least in her regular form, seems very viable. And also this ultimate form he talked about, I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. But to just touch up on Toa, I don't think right now I don't think Toa right now at the moment could possibly be in this game. I mean, DLC pack for season 2 if they're doing a Saiyan season pass for season 1, but Toa right now, I just don't think how would she fit into the story. I mean, I have an idea, but that'll be a little bit later after I get back to this hidden figure that people saw in the story mode trailer that they released around October, November, and people delved into that video and they saw this scene where Goku's doing this Kamehameha right here, and he's blasting it at a girl looking figure, and people were stating that it might be some kind of girl Majin, because it does look pretty similar from this picture that you can tell. But exactly how would you throw just a girl Majin into the game, without getting into the whole Majin Buu having children aspect that Xenoverse got into, without making that extra long or anything like that, without explaining it wholeheartedly and with it making sense. So what people were speculating, and what I honestly think it is Android 21 right here. And as this picture you can tell, they circled the highlighted factors that makes it seem like it is her. So I'm figuring that this is the ultimate form that this leaker was talking about for Android 21, and he doesn't know if that will be playable as just her base character, or she will transform into this as the playable character, kind of like Golden Frieza, or maybe like Ultimate Gohan with his install super. So I think this is the most likely aspect out of everything. But Toa and Android 21, I feel like they will definitely probably somewhere make it into this game. More so Toa. Android 21 seems more lockable, but they're just missing those girl characters that are actually big fighters that they can add into this game, and I'm sure that a lot of people would love to have the addition of waifus into this game. So as the screen shows, so you don't got to count it, I counted it for you. This is only 21 characters, and as you can see, Hit, Beerus, and Goku Black are included. So with 21 characters, the leaker said it would be 27 characters at base roster when the game first releases. So with the 2 Super Saiyan Blues, that's 23. With 17, that's 24. And with Android 21, that's 25. That would mean that he was 2 characters off. If he's 2 characters off, the 2 characters he stated that were for sure coming, Bardock and Brawly, could be the day 1 DLC. So that would put it at 27 characters. I doubt they'll have, day 1 DLC that you have to buy those characters day 1. But that could possibly be an answer to his 21/7 character base roster. Not really base roster, but day 1 you could possibly have those 27 characters. And as it is stated with Vegeta, it purposely shows that it says Vegeta Super Saiyan. So I was thinking maybe in this build that they were showing right here, that it was clickable, that you could just hover over his icon and switch between regular Super Saiyan Vegeta and Goku, and then click onto their Super Saiyan Blues. But as this next picture shows, it has Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta as characters that take up icons. So what this leaker is saying, it could possibly be a 50-50 chance. But with the people that went down to Bandai Namco's office, just the past month with the latest build with Hit Goku Black and Beerus, the live stream that they had did not show Goku Black. SS Blue Vegeta and SS Blue Goku having character rosters, and they said, and they were able to play with Goku and Vegeta that same day that they were there because they have footage of playing with these characters. So I don't know if this is just a different build that they use for the live stream and they let them play a different build, so they could record it and put it on the YouTubes, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense. But obviously it did show one build shows, or it was people that made it themselves. I don't know if this was real or not, but it's kind of misleading. Either way, it could be misleading. And on to the next part where he said that Goku, regular Super Saiyan, or Blue, Vegeta, whoever, couldn't be on the same team with the character themselves. Is kind of thrown out the window, I would think, right now, because as you can see in this picture, this is, I think, part of the arcade mode, and you're going up against Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Goku on the same team. So if the enemy can do it, I'm pretty sure that you'd be allowed to do it with, your characters themselves. Unless it is, just arcade content only that they're able to be on the same team. But I would doubt it. And also, people that I read online while I was digging into this said, people asked, about the leak and saying, can the Blues and regular Gokus be on the same team, because they hadn't seen any footage of it yet when people had went to the Bandai Namco office. But it said that the producer, I think it probably had been Toroki, said you can pick any two Gokus in the same team. So they were also saying that this might also further, validate his aspect of base Goku and base Vegeta being in the game as DLC, because it said any two Gokus. Unless she was thinking in her mind Goku Black, but any two Gokus, at the moment there are only two Gokus. So any two Gokus would mean more than two. So unless she was thinking in her mind Goku Black when she said this, this could also validate the base form Goku and Vegeta being in the game as well. But also, I've read every interview that they had translated into English, and I couldn't find where she stated this. So also take with a grain of salt. So, with all this information that I've stated, I'm just going to go off the DLC going ahead and being a Saiyan Season Pass. I feel like there's over a 50% chance that it will only be Saiyans in the first 8-pack characters for DLC. I think it's over a 50% chance because everything that this leaker has put out, it kind of backtracks into each other. And even though some things might be incorrect, like all leaks are usually like, not everything is 100% correct. I say there's about a good 50% chance, over 50% chance that what he stated was correct. Instead of it just being two characters, I think all 8 will just be Saiyan characters. So that would mean base Goku, base Vegeta, hopefully in the Wiz Gi, if they're gonna be Wiz Training Gi, if they're gonna be, characters, standalone characters, because they're wearing the same outfits as they are in Super Saiyan Blue too. So with those two out of the way, and also Goku in his base form, they said would be able to use the Spirit Bomb as a level 3, probably a level 5 Super Meteor, Super, whatever they call it. But regular Vegeta, what would he do? Probably the Gallic Gun, the level 3, probably just from the air. But I don't know what else he'd be able to do differently. Probably just a different actual normals and everything like that. But also Broly, if they're doing a Saiyan Season Pass, actually any DLC pack that comes out first, they're putting Broly hands down. There's nothing to argue about there. And also, if they are doing a Saiyan Season Pass first, I would think Bardock is over a 70-80% chance of being in the game too, because he has been in a lot of the fighting games prior to, and you could do a lot of different things with him. And also, if he is in the game, I like to have him not just in his regular uniform, but maybe in the battered one after he fought Frieza in the air, or he does have ability to tag into the Super Saiyan ability, because it is stated that he was the first legendary Super Saiyan in the movie. So with all the characters that were in the leaks that this guy put out aside, because I think they're all 70% up plausible of being into the game as the first DLC pack, if it is the Saiyan Season Pass, this is who I would think would be also included. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it, the first one I think would definitely be Kefla, however you say her name, because why would she be introduced into the anime as a fusion for Khalifa and Kale? Because the Broly dynamic could throw it off, and Khalifa as a character on herself was kind of lacking. So Kefla, they both highlighted each other, and she came out to be an awesome fusion. It was really dope, whether her powers were ass pull or not. She'd be a dope character to use, and probably a very zoning heavy character, especially with her Ki Blast, and her level 3 super could easily be the last blast she used against Goku before she got that motherfucking me wave to the face. But anyway, next I would also think would be Gogeta, just as a standalone character. And I say standalone character because I have an idea for fusions coming later. But Gogeta as a standalone character because honestly, power scaling wise, he's not that strong, and he does somewhat have his own moveset. The Stardust Breaker or Stardust Crusader, the move that he used to finish off Janemba, could be definitely his level 3 super. And also with that, with the epic cinematic finishes that they have, I would feel Janemba would come in later, but I don't want to talk about that too much right now. But Gogeta as a standalone character could also be part of the Saiyan Season Pass. But now here's where it gets juicy to me. I would think that they would have to add Vegito in some aspect. But to be honest, Vegito is kind of a broken character, and that just be more of taking up roster spots of a Vegeta and Goku character, which I doubt they want to do. So in my mind, here's the idea that I came with to put Vegito into the game. So in my mind, to put Vegito into the game without him, you know what I mean, just being a rehash or a character that just has somewhat of Goku's move and Vegeta's moves together as in one character you can play alongside as them, that wouldn't make any sense, right? Because they're wanting to keep things, fully, not really fully canon wise, but like if you pick a team with Ultimate Gohan and Gotenks on the same team, Goten will not show up for his level 3 super anymore. So to, not have a paradox there, I would think how I would do it, and if I was employed with Arc System Works, is that if you pick Goku and Vegeta on the same team, it has to be both the same variations. So like we said, it's probably a good chance that base Goku and base Vegeta will be on the same team. So if you pick base Goku and base Vegeta on the same team, it will give you an option that if you pick this option, you can pick Vegito if both of your characters die, and they will come together in a fusion. It'll be a cutscene, and they will come together in a fusion and make Vegito, and he'll give you a last spurt of, one last character, or he'll have half-life, and and just be broken, and you'll have to survive this, kind of like the Phoenix down in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You had to have all bars to be able to get her, and she had to be the last character alive on your team. So it'd be kind of the same with that. And also with Super Saiyan, Vegeta and Goku, you have to pick those two specifically together, and then it will give you the option, do you want to pick a third character, or would you like to do the fusion if you lose? And it could also be linked into the Dragon Ball mechanic as well. But I don't want to get too much into that. But you can have that option to pick. You would rather pick Vegito or a third character. I mean, if you just wanted a team of Goku and Vegeta, and also Tien Hana or whoever. And also Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. If you pick those two variants together, it should give you an option to pick, do you want to pick another third character, or if you lose, would you like to get Vegito? And Vegito can be as broken as hell because he can be high damage and low health, just exactly like Phoenix could be, because the fusion is not meant to be lasted long if you use a lot of energy. He could get kind of like a who's the character in Guilty Gear, like the more like an excitement meter. The more damage he puts out, the more liable he is to die quicker and faster if you get a hold of him. So I would think that would be a dope way to integrate Vegito into the roster without, sacrificing character roster slots for anybody else. Because to have Vegito as a standalone is kind of a bit too much, I would think. So that's just the idea I had of putting Vegito into the game. It was something I came up with in my mind. I haven't read it online, or I don't want to say I'm the first person who could have thought of this idea, but is just a really cool idea of integrating Vegito into the game and just not having him as his own standalone character, because he's pretty powerful, and you don't want to just have him on a team with a whole bunch of other powerhouses. You have to make the player choose to, if you lose, then you can be, you know what I'm saying, have that third character as a Vegito if you pick both the Goku variants and Vegeta variants together that are the same. So also what I wanted to talk about too is with that we have 7 Saiyan characters with base Goku, base Vegeta, Broly, Bardock, Kefla, and Gogeta, and Vegito. That's 7. So who I would think would be the last character for the first DLC pass, if it is the Saiyan Season Pass, is, drumroll please, and you guessed it, I would think the 8th Saiyan they would put into the game would be Ultra Instinct Goku. And like I alluded to with the Phoenix Reborn from Ultimate Marvel 3 being how Vegito worked, not necessarily. I would think Ultra Instinct Goku would be more like the Phoenix Reborn factor, is that you have to have all 7 bars and you have to pick Super Saiyan Blue Goku for it to work. And as soon as he dies, he has to be the last character on your team that's alive, and if he dies you get maybe a timer, or he has super low health. I'm talking about 1 combo kill health, and after that he's just done, because obviously he can't sustain the ability for long. 1, if you give him a timer, and 2, if it's just a 1 combo, if you hit him with, he's dead. I mean, he'd be overpowered, because if you want it to be, you know, canonically to how the anime is going, he can't be touched. So if you're able to get in that 1 touch and he's as strong as he could possibly be and how the game would make him out to be, then he'd just be over. So yes, those are my 8 predictions for the Saiyan Season Pass, if that is the first DLC pass that we will be getting. Or, you know, you could take out Gogeta and Vegito and put in Raditz and Turtles. So yeah, guys, that's just my prediction and what I think, and everything that I was able to break down and be able to find on the internet from the leaks, and just my own personal opinions and what I think would be cool. And you guys tell me and let me know what you think the Saiyan Season Pass would be, if it comes out to be that's what the first 8 characters will be, all Saiyans. But I also have ideas for 2 other ways they could do the DLC packs. If not the first way, then definitely the second way I would think I would like to make videos over to. So you guys comment down below and let me know what you guys think as well. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you later.